Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Paul. What's up, Paul?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. Thank you for taking the time to come on my show. Appreciate it.
Sure.
So where were you born and raised?
Rochester, New York.
Rochester. I've been there quite a few times. Pretty dangerous up there.
It's not a good place anymore.
You've lived there your whole life?
Yeah.
What was it like growing up there?
It was great growing up. Schools were good. Nobody was victims of crimes when I was a kid. And then the 80s happened. Then it started getting bad and it never stopped. And now we're practically a war zone here in some areas.
It really is. I've been there quite a bit and I've seen storefronts smashed in. There's drug addicts walking everywhere, prostitutes, everything.
Everywhere.
Pretty wild. You got any crazy stories from Rochester?
Nothing really. We had my neighborhood. It's funny about my neighborhood. My neighborhood is like 2 blocks away from Kenneth Bianchi's childhood home. It's Lyle Avenue. The cross street is where Arthur Shawcross was murdering prostitutes for many years. And back in the 70s, the mob was running the Lyle Avenue area when they were in here. We had the mob in Rochester back in the old days.
How did the mob lose grip on Rochester?
It just disappeared. They had the mob wars here. Everybody was blowing everybody up. I really didn't know any of these people. I was too young then, but they just disappeared. I'm sure it's still here in some fashion, but I don't know anything like that.
I have the books on the Rochester mob right here.
Those are good books.
Yeah, did you ever read them?
Oh, I read them. I know the guy who writes them.
Yeah, I've had him on my show.
Blair Kenny, he's the author of the Rochester Mob Wars.
Yeah, that's it. Blair Kenny. He wrote this book too.
He's got a new one out, I think, too. Just came out.
Yeah, I got that one too. I got both of them. So how did you get interested in the mob?
Well, here in Rochester, every day you go to school. On the way to school, you'd see in the paper who got blown up this week, who got shot tonight. It was like they were bombing each other like crazy here, and it was always in the news. And it got pretty bad for a while. And then they blew up the big guy here. They blew him up. And then things quieted down for a while. A lot of guys went to jail.
So they blew up the boss.
Sammy Gingello, they blew him up. He was the underboss, I think.
What year was that?
78, maybe.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, I'm 59.
Oh, so you were around then. You were a young
Yeah,
kid, right?
I was a high school kid, yeah.
So after they blew the boss up, was there still mob influence around?
It was a fight for power between who was left. And then they shot the other guy at the Mad Dog Sullivan when he shot the one boss over there at the Blue Gardenia here in Rochester. All that stuff drew a lot of attention, and it just kind of died down after a while. A lot of these guys aren't even around no more.
Yeah, and then the drugs took over and just infested Rochester, right?
I say once crack hit the streets, Rochester was never the same.
People aren't sure about Rochester. Lyle Avenue is a wild place.
Yeah.
I've been there probably 5 times, and I've interviewed prostitutes, drug addicts there. I've traveled there quite a bit. Seen some wild things out in Rochester.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe some of the stuff.
The homeless encampment, right? They've got a homeless encampment where they put them in little sheds. It's like little sheds.
And on the street, you always assume somebody's got a gun. They're not walking these streets without a gun. You can't be careful around here.
Have you ever been a victim of the crime there?
No. Thank goodness for that.
Have you seen other people or know other people that have been victims of it?
Yeah, over the years, but nothing really bad.
I seen a recent picture. How did you get introduced to Tommy Patera?
Through a friend a long time ago, and he ended up getting a hold of me, wanted me to sell his artwork for him. You know, all that money raises money for his legal fees. He gets all the money for every painting and artwork. I don't get nothing out of it, no money wise.
I wrote Tommy. He told me, I'm pretty sure to reach out to you. You're
Right.
like the go between.
Right.
And I was going to help promote his artwork. I'm going to show his page right now. And you want to tell people where they can go and get his artwork?
On Instagram, it's Tommy Karate Pitera Artwork on Instagram.
And does that bring you to here, right?
And then there's a link for that one too.
And he has some new paintings.
Yeah, there's a lot more of them are on Instagram. And there's new ones coming soon. Within days, I'll have some more new ones up.
So if people want to get artwork, all they have to do is reach out to you on Instagram and you'll make it happen for them.
Oh, yeah.
And all these paintings come with a signature and a thumbprint, I believe, right?
Right. And also part of the deal is when you make a purchase, you can write him and he'll write you back with a thank you letter for purchasing the artwork. And that letter can go with the art piece for like a certificate of authenticity of sorts.
That's pretty cool that you get this much authenticity from each painting. Like a lot of times, like Sammy Gravano was doing paintings, but he wasn't painting them.
No, they're just signed artwork from somebody else.
That's wild. Were you friends with Tommy before he started doing all this artwork stuff?
Yeah, I've known him for a long time. We'll just say I've known him a long time.
Yeah, you just built this relationship to where you're helping him do this now.
My hobby is I like to collect artwork and artifacts from infamous people. And I got artwork from a lot of infamous people. Somebody hooked me up with Tommy's, one of his artworks went up on sale on eBay. It was his first piece ever, and I bought that. So I own his very first piece.
What's that one? What is it?
It's actually a painting. It's like a landscape, purplish, brown, black landscape. Pretty simple, and it was his very first piece when it comes with a picture of him holding it up in prison. So you knew it was done by him.
That's awesome, man, that you got that. Who are some of the other people of artwork and tokens you have from the past?
I've got several pieces from Charles Manson, Kenneth Bianchi. Oh yeah, big time. I even got a custom piece done for me by him.
From Charles Manson?
Yeah.
So what, you were writing him?
The thing with him, I tried writing him a lot, but he would never write back, which I never expected him to. But I'm actually friends with a lot of his friends, and they're the ones that were selling the artwork and had him do a piece for me. I told him what I wanted done, and you make a donation, because at the time I think he needed some false teeth or something. He was trying to raise money, and I got a nice piece done to my, something I liked from him, signed and everything.
So did you ask him, did you tell him what you wanted painted?
Oh yeah, I wanted a tombstone with my name on it, and I wanted a swastika in there somewhere. That's his signature thing. He's really an abstract art. He don't do much detail. It's mostly abstract. It's not really museum quality, but it's still who's doing it that counts.
Who are some of the other people you have?
Kenneth Bianchi, the Hillside Strangler.
Wow.
Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. Arthur Shawcross, the serial killer here from Rochester. And I even got one watercolor painting from 1918 by Hitler when he was probably a kid. I think he was 18 years old or something back then.
Do you have them on display?
I have them put away right now because I'm painting and everything with my house, and I was getting ready to put everything back up after all the work's done, but not really. Richard Ramirez, his artwork is poor, in my opinion. It's something you would draw on the back of your folder in high school, that kind of quality. But he's getting $600, $700 for these pieces now that he's dead. And the artwork from Tommy is way, way better. And the price comparison, I think that's a great deal, what he's getting for his artwork in comparison to the prices of other.
The quality of Tommy's is really good.
Yeah, he didn't know he was good at drawing. One of his friends told him to try to raise money for legal fees. He should try drawing pictures and see how good he is, sign them, and they would sell them for him. and he found a hidden talent he never knew he had.
Wow, that's pretty wild.
And he's a perfectionist, so he makes sure he puts a lot of time and effort into these. They're not just getting drawn out in 2-3 minutes. It takes him 3-4 days to do a portrait.
He'll do unique things, like you send him a picture and he'll do it, right?
Right. He's done portraits of me, my daughter, my father.
So his legal fund is, he has life without parole, right?
Right.
Or he has a couple life sentences, doesn't he?
I think it was life without parole. I'm not sure how many life sentences.
Is he trying to get it overturned?
He's got a lot of things. I won't go into detail, but he's got a lot of things going on right now, and they're all looking good, to be honest.
That's good.
And you see all these other gangsters who, in my opinion, were worse than Tommy, you know, if you had to do statistics wise, that are getting out. The Gemini twins are out. A couple other guys got out. The one guy they called Whack Whack got out. You know, these guys are old. They did a lot of bad things, but they're getting out. So maybe one way or another, I think he's getting out someday.
How old is he now?
Yeah, I don't think he's 70 yet.
He's still in good shape, right?
Really good shape.
Does he work out every day?
He works out when he can in his cell, because they won't let him do karate in the prison, because, you know, you can't do that stuff. And
yeah, because I've been to prison and I've seen other people trying to teach other people karate, and they ended up going to the hole for it. They don't tolerate that stuff in there. No, because they think you're going to start using it on the guards and shit. What other paintings from people did you get, and what kind of correspondence have you had with some of these people?
Well, Manson with some of his close personal friends that actually, you know, spoke with him every day, visited him all the time. Ramirez, I was in contact with his wife for a while. I got a lot of nice stuff from her. I actually got one of his trial worn suits, the whole suit, shoes and everything. And that right there is like a crown jewel for collectors.
Yeah. So what made you even get into this type of stuff?
I've always been a fan of this kind of stuff. I don't know, horror movies, and then true crime, you know, came after that, because that was like true life horror. And then one thing leads to another, and this is what I do.
So what makes you go from watching movies to, I'm going to write this person and see if they'll write me back and send me a painting?
It was funny. I remember watching Helter Skelter when I was 12. And I think right there is when I was hooked on the true crime. And I didn't know until I seen something on a news show that you can actually buy this stuff. It was from a murder auction website. I didn't know it even existed. And then you find the paintings and all the artwork, and you start buying them. You write these guys. Most times they'll write you back, because, you know, they ain't got nothing else going on. Some of them, the serial killers don't, you know.
Some of them won't write you at all. I wrote quite a few mob guys, and Tommy wrote me back. I was quite surprised that he wrote me back.
Right.
Because other people I know have written him and have not gotten responses.
Right.
Because they wanted interviews and things like that.
He'll never do an interview with anybody.
No, has he told you that he's not into it?
He's told me many times he'll never do an interview of any kind with anybody for any amount of money.
There were certain people on the street saying that they were close with Tommy or friends with him.
Oh, that liar, Jimmy Calandra.
Yes.
He never knew Jimmy Calandra. He don't know who he is.
He said that from he's told you that? He never knew Jimmy Calandra?
He never knew him. If you watch Convict Inc., they did an episode.
Yes,
where Tommy contacted him and told him he don't know who that kid is. He knew a couple of guys, but he never knew him. He says he was a young kid back then. He never knew him. Jimmy lied about everything, and then he posted that fake prison visit picture and he got caught lying.
Yeah, so you recently have a new picture of you and Tommy.
Right.
What was it like to go visit him?
It was interesting. I never been to a prison before, so the whole thing was new to me.
That was the first time you've ever visited him?
In the Big Sandy. McCrary, they couldn't have visitors since the COVID. I mean, it was like 4 years without a visitation there. It was hard to get in. Before that, I wasn't close enough to that to go to that one.
Where is Big Sandy? I forgot.
Yeah, it's in Kentucky.
So you have to travel all the way from Rochester to Kentucky to go there?
Yeah.
What was it like going in there? Are they strict when you go in?
Oh yeah, they're strict. I mean, it's not like you think on TV, but they scan you pretty good. You can't get in with anything. You can't have anything with you. You can't bring your phone. If you want to bring money for pop, you have to have a clear bag and quarters in it. You can't carry anything. No paper, no pictures, no nothing.
So whatever you got to say, you got to remember it in your head, right?
Right. Yeah.
So what's it like to visit with Tommy?
It was a great visit. The visiting room was nice, quiet for a while. You know, it wasn't filled with people like you see on TV. And we were sitting across from each other in a chair talking. That's about it.
How long a visit was it?
Almost 7 hours.
7 hours?
Oh yeah, it goes by fast. You wouldn't believe it.
Wow. So you guys are just sitting there shooting the shit for 7 hours.
And I was supposed to go back again the next day, but they got a lockdown. I couldn't go, so I missed my second visit.
Oh man. So do you plan on going again?
Oh, I'll go up again in a few months.
Tell him I said what's up, and I'm gonna work on getting a painting. I gotta save up some money.
All right.
And I'll promote his artwork. I've been waiting to do this interview to help him get his artwork more exposed to the masses, you know?
Right.
Because my following is growing at a tremendous rate, and I'm sure they would be into this type of stuff.
Right.
How were you able to get the picture?
Oh, they take the pictures there, and then he sends them to me when they develop them.
Is it kind of rare that they get visits?
Now it's not. I mean, at the other prison there was none. This time, you know, you can, if there's not lockdowns, that's the only thing. You go up there, and if it's a lockdown, you can't get in. If you have to travel far, let's say if I had to drive 9 hours there and they got locked down, I couldn't get a visit at all. It would have been really bad. It would have been all for nothing. At least I got one visit in, you know.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's great that you were able to get in there.
Kentucky was a nice state, though. I liked it.
What did Tommy say his prison experience has been like?
I won't get into that kind of stuff.
I gotta ask, you know.
Right.
What's your goal for the future with all this? What kind of things are you looking to collect in the future?
I haven't really bought nothing too much lately, but you know, the goal is to get enough money to pay these lawyers so Tommy can get out of prison.
How much money does he need?
I really don't know. I don't even know who his lawyer is at this point.
So if anyone's out there that wants to donate, where can they contact you or donate?
He says, you know, like taking charity, you know, making donations or anything like that. He says he'd rather have you buy artwork because at least you get something for your money. He don't like taking handouts.
But if there's someone out there that wants to give a nice chunk of money, they can basically buy a painting and pay whatever they feel like, right?
Right. Oh yeah, whatever they want, right.
Yeah, so if someone's out there and you want to donate to the cause, just get a painting and you'll be able to help Tommy's legal fund. And
you'll get a letter thanking you from him.
So what do you think the chances of him being released are?
Well, I'd say they're pretty good. I would say. I mean, this isn't a wild goose chase by any means. There's a lot of things going on that are good, I think.
Yeah, that are in his favor.
Yeah.
Well, this is great, man. This is a great interview. I appreciate you taking the time. Is there any people you want to give a shout out to?
No, that's all right. Nobody really.
Remember, if you want to get Tommy Pitera's artwork, just hit him up on Instagram at Tommy. What is it? Tommy's Artwork?
Tommy Karate Pitera Artwork.
Go check him out and order the artwork. Donate if you can. Just order a painting. Give what you can if you want to help him with his legal fund. I really appreciate you taking the time today.
No problem.
And you're welcome back here anytime.
Thanks.
If you like this show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like the show, too fucking bad, start your own podcast. Peace. Thanks, man.
All right, man.